When you're looking for a particular milsurp and you can't find it on Gun Broker, gun shows, your gun store, gun boards, any other place that you may look, one of the easiest places to search for a particular item is Proxibid auctions or high bid auctions. These are where many auction houses list their items and you can bid through them. Now, as I've said before, like on Poulon and Rock Island, you definitely want to try to go to their auction site, but you can still search their items there. Other auction houses go exclusively through either Proxibid and high bid or both, and don't have their own site. And sometimes when you're bored and you just want to browse, looking through Proxibid auctions is just kind of a good way to kill time. Well, I'm going to do a Finn Mosin display at the end of July at the Missouri Valley Collectors Association show, and I need a couple more items for my display. I have a 10 gun display planned. I have 9 of them planned out. I'm looking for that 10th one. And one thing I was considering was a Finn-marked Swedish Mauser. I passed up on one last year. I let Danny go ahead and snatch it, and I kind of regret that decision now. But it's something I would kind of like to have for that. Otherwise, I'll find something else to put there. But as I was looking through the auctions, I saw one at this place called Gunslinger Auctions out of Santa Ana, California. They were on Proxibid, and this was on an auction on May 19th. They also had a M38 Carcano in 7.35, and that was Finn marked, but the kicker was it had a Finn marked bayonet on there. I was going to go on this auction, see if I couldn't get one of these two or both of these items for fairly cheap. I also watched a couple other items on this auction that piqued my interest. Well, I went ahead and waited the auction day because, to me, one of the best way, a lot of people may put in their high bid, but a lot of times when they get to the live auction, the auctioneers will start at the highest bid and go up on the floor. And a lot of times you're just driving that bid up before the auction even starts. So if I can, I'll set an alarm and wait until the auction day and just try to bid live online. So I did this at this auction. I kind of had a free day off that day. On the Mauser that they had, the Swedish Mauser, it was SA marked, and they didn't even say anything in the description. So I thought I might be able to sneak in and get this for fairly cheap. Unfortunately, couple people who attended the auction live in person also noticed this apparently, because there ended up being a bidding war on it, and it ended up going for $800 hammer price, and this is before any buyer's fees. So that's way out of line for me. And the Carcano, as I've done in my Carcano video, I said that the bayonet is actually worth more than the rifle. So I thought, if I got a good deal on the combination, since I already have an M38, I mainly wanted the bayonet. But somebody else at that auction, they bid it up to where it would be market price at hammer price. So after the buyer's fees, it was really high. But I had a couple consolation prizes that I was looking at this auction. I was also watching a Moss 49, now not 4956, but a Moss 49, as well as a Moss 3651. Now the 3651 has the grenade launcher. The 49 actually doesn't have the NATO grenade launcher. It has it kind of has a rudimentary grenade launcher on it. I wanted a Moss 49 ever since basically there's a small military show somewhere in the Kansas City area about a year ago. I took a day off, or a half day off actually, and I showed up a couple hours after it opened. I kind of wish I would have taken the whole day off, because I got there and Danny from Milsurp World, he had snatched up this Moss 49 that he got one hell of a deal on. So ever since then I was kind of been jealous of that. I went ahead and watched this Moss 49, and I won it with an $800 hammer bid, which really isn't that bad. Now I will go into the fees here at the end of this video to see how much I actually paid for it. And also I waited a little bit later on when that Moss 3651 came up. I figured I'd make it a French day, I guess, since I already got the 49, and I got that for a $475 hammer bid. So I paid the next day, paid up, called them up, and I sent them my FFL. The auction was on May 19th. I received my rifles at my FFL on June 12th. Now, they were boxed and packed very well, and most importantly, there was no packing peanuts. Now, if the shipper uses packing peanuts, that means they hate you. They hate the end user. And my FFL, he hates packing peanuts. As a matter of fact, when it arrives at the store, he just says, in case it's packing peanuts, you just open this up. You know, I don't want to deal with it. You open this up, clean up after yourself. So I appreciate there's no packing peanuts. And plus it came in this nice, hard case, which was a, you know, definite plus. Let's take a quick look at the rifles. My Moss 49, and I'll put some pictures up across this as well. But the Moss 49 is not exactly matching the stock number and the receiver number. They don't match. I haven't broke it down to see if it isn't totally, you know, to see how bad it is. But it is a Syrian contract, so it makes me wonder if it's a Mixmaster. Reason you can tell it's a Syrian contract is that the Moss 49 was originally designed to not have a bayonet period. Well, when they came with the Syrian contract, they had the old Moss 36 style bayonet. So that's how you can tell whether or not it's a Syrian contract rifle or not. And you know, it does have a rudimentary rifle grenade sight on it, but you know, I don't believe it was the NATO, which that was the big deal with the 49-56. Take a quick look at my other rifle that I got, the 36-51. Now this is a 36 with basically the same rifle grenade launcher that the 49-56 has. So they put it on the 39 first, and I believe they actually made more 36-51s than they did the 36s. So you know, this is a pretty cool little find to add to my French collection. The butt pad says 51 at the back of it. The stock number matches the receiver number. Again, I'll have to break it down to see whether it totally matches or not, but I'm very happy with this find. I'm very happy to add these two rifles to my French collection. Alright, as a service, when I do these auction reviews, I think it's only fair to tell you how much over the hammer price I actually paid to get it to my hands. And actually, the math I had down is just to my FFL. Full disclosure, I paid $40 for my FFL to transfer these two rifles to me. But before I go through all the math, why don't you throw a comment below, tell me how much you think I paid over hammer price on this, or give me a good guess on that, and then maybe go back and tell me whether you were right or not. So anyway, as I've said before, the hammer price on my Moss 49 was $800. The hammer on the Moss 3651 was $475. So that'd make my total hammer price $1,275. The 25% stated buyer's fee, that would be $318.75. So that would make it $1,593.75 after the buyer's fee. Add in shipping, which is $135. Now, that may sound a bit higher than you're used to, but keep in mind it was two rifles. It came in the case. It was packed very well. I can't complain about any of that, so I'm actually not complaining about that shipping fee. There was no packing peanuts, and they didn't send it USPS, which is a big plus for me. I think they sent it FedEx. I received it in a good amount of time after I received the tracking number, so I'm not going to complain about that at all. One fee that I will complain about is a processing fee of $69.90. Now, that should have been included in the buyer's premium of 25%. I think the processing fee is bunk. You know, that is one thing I will complain about in this whole auction experience. So adding that in, it'd be $1,798.65. Adding government theft of $125.11. That would make the total to my FFL $1,923.76. So that would make it $648.76 over the hammer price, or 50.88% over. When I go into these auctions anymore, when I talked about my pull-on auction here a few months ago, I was thinking 33% and I was way off on that. So I started going into these thinking 50% over, just, you know, with the rifle in my hands. As I said, that processing fee, that kind of soured me just a little bit. on this auction, on this lots, that would have been 5.48% on what I won, or that would have taken around 45%. But the thing is, if that processing fee ends up on all wins, so like let's say you won a $400 rifle, that shoots your buyer's premium way up. So that fee should be included in the buyer's premium as far as I'm concerned. So that's, as I said, that's one complaint I have. So after all is said and done, if we add 50.88% over the hammer price, that means I paid $1,207.04 for the Moss 49, which I really haven't found a good comp for that. Definitely nowhere near Danny's deal that he got last year. I imagine that that's market or slightly below market from the few that I could find. The Moss 3651 would have been $716.68, which is actually below market, so I think I did pretty well there. But these are two really good examples that helps round out my French collection a little more. And as I said, with the exception of that processing fee, which again I think is bunk, I am happy with the experience. Nice rifles. They had good selection at that auction. They packed it well. I'm not complaining about that at all. Like I said, that processing fee is the only thing that soured me a little bit. That should be just add a % or two to the buyer's fee if you must have that processing fee, but that would make it a little more transparent. So anyway, if you want to check out that pull-on auction that I did a couple months ago, click over here. Otherwise, please join the GOA, get $5 off your membership with the link below. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.